Alright, so let's see what happens after we start taking the medication. It's a Wednesday evening and you're visiting your parents' house for a holiday. It's one of the handful of times during the year you drive out to visit your old hometown, and you've seen random people you had gone to school with around town. Whenever bumping into them, the unusual short versions of what you've done since graduation are exchanged. You've gone through a few of these today and have been very aware of how much you feel you haven't accomplished. Most of them, even if you had managed to, you've largely lost interest in what you thought you wanted to do growing up. Now you're not really sure what you want to do, and you felt like you're lacking the ambition or drive to figure it out. Everyone you've caught up with seems so much happier than you. Like, sorry, excuse me. Like they've got their lives all figured out, and you've kind of been feeling like a failure by comparison. Your brother Malcolm arrives with his wife in tow shortly before you all sit down to dinner. He's been traveling for his job lately, and you haven't seen him since the day he picked you up from the dentist. Your parents haven't seen him since before then. During dinner, they all catch up with, and Malcolm talks about the amazing thing he's done on the road. Your mother turns to you and asks what you've been up to since you've seen them last. Oh, same old, you say. Nothing really new going on. Your mother makes a face. Oh, nothing new? How long are you planning on staying at that job of yours? What do you say? Tell them what they want to hear, that you're actively looking for a more prestigious position. Admit that you don't know what you want to do. Excuse yourself to the bathroom. Actually, you start sheepishly. I'm not really sure what I want to do right now. Your mom puts down her fork. So what you're planning on living that way you do for the rest of your life? How would you afford a house on that paycheck? What about kids? Your father interrupts, lightly placing his hand over your mother's. It's okay, Linda. Let the kids be what they are. There's nothing wrong with not knowing what you want to do in your 20s. I didn't get into construction until I was nearly 40. Your mother looks across the table at you, unsatisfied with her husband's reasoning. I don't think it's normal for someone at that age to not have a path. You need to think hard about it, or you'll never make anything of yourself. Mom, come on, Malcolm interjects. Emotionally exhaust you. You want to tell her that you are thinking hard, and that not knowing what you're doing with yourself bothers you more than it could even bother her. That sometimes it feels like you're lost in the woods, and that if you were to drop dead in your apartment, the world wouldn't notice. You want to make her understand that more often than not, you feel like an alien, like there isn't anywhere in this world that feels like a place where you belong, and you have no idea how to fix it or what to do. You wish you could find the words so she would understand that being looked down on for this kills you, and drives home the feeling of being a total outsider. Instead, you get very quiet for the rest of the meal while your mind goes numb. Everything inside you feels exhausted, deeply depressed. Spend some time on therapist couch. You've been prescribed medication, but you doubt that it's having any positive effect on you. This right here, you have been prescribed medication, but you doubt that it's having any positive effect on you. The medication that they prescribe usually doesn't start to kick in for like a month so that's probably why he feels that way. I don't know how long it's been, but that's why. I don't know what that is. It's a rainy night. You are hurrying through the rain to Alex's apartment at her behest. Through your paces. Though your pace is quick, the rain is steadily soaking up your pant legs as you traverse the town, and it's darkening. You're already poor mood. The call came while you were at home after a day of dealing with abnormally frustrating people. You spent the afternoon trying to unwind and get some work on your project done. Alex called and interrupted one of your try to make progress. Get frustrated and not making progress. Have a harder time making progress due to frustration and repeat loops, and you haven't fully shaken off the feelings of being annoyed with yourself from it yet. You knock on her door, and on the third knock, hear her voice call from further in the apartment to come on in. As you cross the threshold, dripping rain water all the way, you notice the lights are turned down very low in the apartment. You squint to navigate it as you clutch onto your damp umbrella, but end up hitting your shin on a side table, mumbling a profanity under your breath. You barely make out Alex emerging from the hallway, clad in what looks to be a robe, with the bare skin of her legs peering out underneath. "Why don't you come in and warm up?" she asked in her designated, slightly cheesy, sexy voice. After a beat of silence, she states more naturally, "My roommates are out of town for this weekend, so I thought it might be nice to have a little fun while they were away." You appreciate her affection, but you're too wrapped up in your own negative feedback loops to be in the mood right now. What do you do? Try to unwind with her before getting physical? Suggest you do something else? I don't know. It'll probably be good for him, so just go with this. You look at her standing, barely lit, and notice there's a few candles scattered around the apartment. It occurs to you that she has tried to make this night special for the two of you, even though you have a tight knot of antisocial frustration in your stomach. Seeing how much she cares makes you want to try to melt it away so you can show her how much you care that she's gone through all this trouble. However, you desperately need to shift gears first before that's even possible. "You look amazing. Let's have a drink together," you suggest, hoping that this will give you the push you need to get in the mood. You go into the kitchen and pour the two of you drinks, trying to focus on letting go of your bad mood. You sit down on the couch next to her, and she cuddles up to you instantly. "What shall we toast to?" she asks as she takes her drink. You think for a moment, passing up the cheesy "to us" option. You say, "What's on your mind?" Letting go of your bad day. Okay, so they're toasting to letting go of your bad day. Oh wait, no, they're not. To tonight. The two of you cheers, and you ask her about her day. Conversations turn flirtatious, and the two of you find yourselves in the bedroom shortly after. You find that you're having trouble getting into things physically with her, and remember that diminished arousal was a possible side effect of your medication. You'd hoped that you were part of the population that wouldn't be affected by it, but it seems as though this was not the case. However, you're able to still enjoy the closeness with Alex and fall asleep together happily. Alright, so that'll be it for this episode, and I'll pick it right back up. I thought this would be the last, but obviously it's not, so might as well just keep going.